What's going on? Look at that car in front of me. You matter. They're talking to me, not you guys. But anyway, what do y'all think about Pedro's video? I think he pretty much nailed it. I mean, I heard somebody say that Flex got it the worst. Are you kidding me? See, the thing about Flex's channel changing, people say that. I mean, I think a lot of that's the Eli stuff. But the thing about that is, and no offense to Pedro sees this, but that's like Pedro and Hannibal, right? I never even knew they had a channel into the Eli stuff. And if you really go back on that channel, that's what got that channel to take off. You know, if you just stay stagnant and you stay on the same shit and you just talk about, I mean, there is not, I don't think there is a gig channel anymore that just talks about gig work, right? I mean, hell, even like your, you know, the ones in the mornings, like, you know, take Eric or Hector, either one of them. I mean, it's other stuff. I mean, if you just sat there and just talked about gig, you know, people, you know, they're tired of that. When gig work was like, you know, 5 or 6 years ago and it was kind of newer, you know, people did kind of come to like see that. And you still get newer people, but most of them's going to watch the videos because it's hard to go to a live and it's like, you know, 8 to 12 hours long and try to find parts that's relevant to what you're, you know, looking for. So channels, if they don't like adapt, you know, and change and do their own thing, of course they're going to go down. Now, you know, Pedro's 100% right about Flex. Flex don't give a shit about the numbers, and he can prove, you know, anybody that's ever watched him knows that, because that's like when people was telling about the Eli stuff, you know, some people would say they wasn't coming. He didn't give a fuck. He talked about it. But the biggest tell is when people said about like the ghost videos and the alien videos, like how, and he seen that, and what did he do? For 2 or 3 nights in a row, he played videos just, I think, just to piss people off, just to show them, you know, he wasn't doing to be, you know, a dick. He was just showing that, you know, if that's what he wants to do, it's his channel. Let him do whatever he wants, right? Like Hannibal, you know, the gig you know, Hannibal scene, it was kind of, you know, stagnant. The gig content was not there. So he went on to, like, you know, political stuff, and he's doing really, really well. And I think Pedro's going to have to try to find that niche, because, I mean, you can make a living. You could, using like all, you'd have to multi-app like a son of a bitch if you didn't have DoorDash. Because, I mean, no matter what you say about, oh shit, did you all know? If you didn't know this, listen to this. Now if you get like any, I mean, I guess it's just shopping though, but if you get a shopping pay, click the thing, it'll show you what the items are before you accept it. So that's even better than Spark or anything. Because think about it, Spark, if it's not like a, you know, like a round robin or like, you know, direct, if it's like an ASAP order, or ASAP as you fuckers call them, that would be you gotta look quick. You got like just a second. On DoorDash you don't. You still got that full time. You can look and see what it is. They still ain't got that 15-pound thing, you know, figured out. So that's good, because like a minute ago I got one. It was 100 crickets, you know, 15 pounds. That's what it said. You know, it was 100 crickets. It didn't. I don't even think. What does that weigh? An ounce? I don't know. I mean, not very much. The bag weighs more than all the 100 crickets. The air in the bag weighs more than the crickets. I always feel like a dick though when I do that. I make them put them in a different bag too, because I don't want to look at them. It's like, you know, executioner taking somebody to their, you know, execution. But there's 100 of them, so I mean, that's going to last a while, you know. So some of them crickets are still probably a little pissed at me though for doing that. But the thing about it is the drama stuff, you know, like Roy, no offense, but you know, that's what I'm saying. You know, you ought to just embrace the drama. Like, is this guy? Did you all tell on me for something? Go get him. Oh, it was like see, you see that shit? He puts his lights on to turn, then he turns them off. See you in court. Citizen's arrest. I still think Dasher should get lights. That's just a theory. But the point is, if Roy would embrace that drama thing, I think he would do better. Because I mean, everybody knows this. When, you know, you got people arguing and shit like that, I mean, it sucks. But people love to see that. I mean, look how much the comments jumped. And you got some people who are one side or the other, and you got some who just stay out of them and stay neutral. But then you have some, like that Kevin Dick, he runs to both, you know, he'll say little things, but then when he don't think, like, see, no one thinks someone's going to comment on a live, you know what I'm saying? Not a lot of people just like watch it, but that's where you can see some stuff. That's where you see him trying to stoke shit. And when he gets called out, you know, he don't come back around. That had to, Jerry, that had to piss you off. He didn't mention you, but you know why he did that, don't you? Because he don't want to give you fucking attention. So you might say, well, you're doing it, you're giving me attention, but there's like going to be like 20 people see this video if I'm lucky. And one of them is going to be you, and the other one is going to be me. And, well, actually, about 2 of them is going to be me, probably, because I'll, you know, Anyway, point is, no one gives a fuck. No one's going to see this, so it's not helping you. When I talk about you, Cherry, it's pretty much no one's seeing this shit. So it's not helping. If he said it, even though, see, I didn't even know he put that on his other channel. That's why, you know, but I think Bobby was saying that he had put a community post out, which I did see the community post, but I didn't see which channel. I just thought it was the other channel. But if he put that on his main channel, which kind of surprises me, because, I mean, you know, if I was him, I would literally keep that shit separate, because all it takes is, you know, there's a lot of positive, you know, type people that go in there. They don't go for the drama in, like, Pedro's main channel. But, you know, and if you look at what Pedro said, he said, you know, he's calling himself out too, because that's a good thing, because literally the day before he made that video that night, he was triggered about old Clark, you know, a couple others, you know. But he did say that, you know, and it does. I mean, I can see that. If you had somebody going at you for fucking, I mean, every time he comes, think about that. Every time he goes on Hector's channel, you got 3 or 4 in the comments just saying stupid shit about him, right? And I'm sure he gets tired of it. I mean, and he finally just seen it. He called him out now. But you would think they would stop doing that. But I seen, you know, earlier today, I just haven't. They're still doing the shit. It fucking amazes me. I mean, there's no shame, I guess. I mean, if somebody called me out and I wasn't man enough to pop up, I mean, even if you don't go on panel, I mean, talk back in the chat. I mean, you ain't got to go on a panel if you don't go on a panel. Just stand your ground a little bit. Don't just say a little laugh out loud comments and shit. But, you know, do you, buddy. You know, Clark, Saturn, Texas Ranger. You give Chuck Norris a bad name. You're going to name yourself after Chuck Norris and you're going to fucking run. Don't be doing Chuck. He's going to whoop. You're going to change your name. Instead of Walker, was Texas Ranger. Was, or non-Norse, put that. But anyway, Cherry's going to still try to ramp shit up because he sees that it's going, and he, you know, the sad part is people do need to start like going to them channels every now and then, because if you don't, they're going to see the numbers right now, because the numbers are going down a little bit on certain channels. Like Roy, you know, he's kind of seeing that, but Roy, you're fine, buddy. The people's going to come back. What it is, you know, especially when you're on like a Saturday night or something, you knew that Friday and Saturday people are out. Your numbers are fine. Hell, you're doing great. It's just, yeah, they were, you know, 10, 15 more people in there when you were talking about drama, but do you really want that? Because at some point in time, it's either going to come to an end or you're going to get called out. You know, it's just going to be a nightmare. But, oh, I can say this now because it's toward the end of the video. Did you all see Eli literally cussing out his in-laws? He was literally screaming, fuck you to him and stuff. He's like, I'm not supposed to talk about him. I'm going to do it anyway. But then he literally starts screaming in the camera, fuck you to his, I hope it's not his future mother-in-law. She, you know, if Don's got any sense. But I'm sure Eli, that was a smart thing to do, buddy. You know, you're trying to make up with him. You said she wants you to make up with him so she can see her family, but then you sit there and say fuck you and all this other shit. And also you was saying, like, you know, if you got kids, you know, you should stick by them no matter what. And to an extent that's true, but there's a thing called tough love and there's a thing called rock bottom. If people don't hit it, and see, you say they're terrible parents because they're American parents. They're terrible, right? Well, the thing about that is, though, they must have been pretty damn good if they got her. She was a nurse, from what you said, so they must have been, you know, good at some point, right? I mean, they got her there. It was what happened after that. So, and you're talking about like, oh, I gotta, you know, pay everything and, you know, do all this. You know, you said she had insurance, so I mean that should help on that. Plus, dude, when you said you guys are getting married, that's your job. I mean, like when I was married, I didn't go to my wife's family and say, hey, can I borrow, you know, $20? I got to feed my wife. You know, that's fucking crazy. But anyway, if you're going to try to make up with them, it's probably not a good idea to cuss out the in-laws. You know, when she says don't talk about them, that probably means don't say, fuck you. You know, which it was fucking hilarious. You cussing out somebody is funnier than hell, Eli. But anyway, I want to go. Y'all have a good one. Jerry, I didn't talk about you much, but just as usual, fuck you. Y'all have a good day. Look at that American flag. It's a little, is that wore out? Is that American flag? What is that? It must be like the Wish version. It's wore out. Maybe, I don't know. Old Glory is really old. Y'all have a good one.